Alrighty, hi everybody, this is Sir Duckin, and in this video I'm going to be going over some of my itemization choices for my hardcore pet doctor for Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Um, First off, this is after about 180 hours of farming, and I've gotten pretty lucky with some of my drops. So first let's go over some of the items. The weapon is a Doombringer. Now, for the physical pet build, this is probably the weapon you want to go with, mainly because it can roll a bonus to physical skills, and that's a really big modifier. It can roll up to 20%, and mine rolled pretty well. Almost max damage on the damage roll, and then almost max physical damage bonus. The next piece that is pretty important for a pet build, and also pretty hard to get, is a Tasker and Theo gloves. The reason why this is important is because it will increase the attack speed of your pets by up to 50%. Um, Mine only rolled 42%, which is still not bad. Um, again, these rolled okay, but ideally I would like to get some crit damage. That's just me. A lot of people would probably keep the vitality. Next, for most pet builds, with the exception of maybe a poison dart pet build, is going to be the Mask of Jerem. This is a really good helmet for the pet build, probably mandatory. It can roll up to 100% bonus damage for your pets. These are all gambleable from Kadala, so farm up some blood shards, and definitely I would probably gamble for Voodoo Mask first. Um, the next legendary we have is in the ring slot. It's going to be a Tall Man's Finger. This was really, really, really bad when the game came out, but they buffed it in one of the recent patches, and it gives you this giant dog down here. The dog does a lot more damage than what any of the dogs together would do, like individually. The pants are Mr. Yan's. These rolled very poorly, but the bonus is good enough that I'm going to use them. Um, while I'm moving, my resource generation damage is increased by 25%. While I'm standing still, it's decreased by 20%. So as you can see, it looks like my damage is a little bit low, 650,000, right? But the moment I start to move, it bumps up to 1 million. And that's really good because all my pets are going to snapshot, or not snapshot, but they're going to take that damage and apply it immediately. It's not like I have to resummon them when I have my damage bonus or anything like that. On Torments like 3 and up, I like to use a Ucapian Serpent in my offhand. The reason being is obviously the legendary affix, 27% of the damage you take is redirected to your zombie dogs. So that really helps with your higher difficulty damage mitigation. Um, the other armor is, set gear. You have the Ogkild's Power set, or the Ogkild's Authority set, and that's the shoulders with the bracers. The bracers obviously can roll the physical damage and crit chance, so you want that typical standard roll. And then on the shoulders, ideally you would have armor instead of the all resistance, but I am broke and haven't been able to roll armor on it, so I need to farm some gold, which won't take too long. And then the boots, belt, and chest are just blackthorns for the 4-set bonus. Kind of get lazy on Torments 1, 2, and 3. And usually you can get enough damage so using like full blackthorns won't hurt you too much in the damage department. To tie it all together, to get the 4-set bonus here and the 3-set bonus here, I have a Ring of Royal Grandeur, which you have to farm out of the Act 1 bounty bags. I did get very lucky on this. I got it pretty quickly. Only took me about 20 bags. Um, so this is definitely a piece that some of you are probably going to have to take a while to get and wait on. My follower is nothing special, just a Hand of the Prophet, a pretty decent furnace, and then just some random generic rare items. Um, you want to stack as much physical damage as you can with this pet build. I think eventually I would want to take off the vitality off of my amulet and stack physical. But for now, Torment 3, it's fine. My Paragon points are pretty basic. You kind of want to put your Paragon points into whatever you need to make up for. My movement speed to make sure I'm at 25, and then just in general. I do want to make sure I'm at 50% crit chance, because your pets will take your crit chance up to 50%. So once you get to that 50% mark, you can kind of go into other things. Crit damage is always a really good one. Armor, resist all, life. I like to sit at about 1,000 all resist at the low end. So once I'm there, I can start going into armor and life. One thing to remember is that armor end game itemization will tend to scale a little bit better. You can get much higher armor rolls, plus the percent armor will stack, and that's always nice. Then the utility, I go for just life on hit with area damage second. Just kind of nothing here for me in this build. Resource cost reduction if you're playing a build that's going to be actually spending a lot of your resources, but this build does not. So, alright, let's take a look at the skills. For my primary attack, I use Plague of Toads. The reason being is, although this does very little damage, it will proc your Fetish Sycophant's passive. So every time I hit an enemy with my spell, I have a 10% up to a 10% chance to summon a fetish for 60 seconds. Well, Rain of Toads, all it does is drop a ton of toads on things. So you're proccing a large group a lot. So you definitely want to use that. Then, doesn't really matter what you have this on, but piranhas with Paranado. This is nice. It kind of bunches them up for your guys so they don't run around and get spread out. And then it also gives a 15% debuff on the enemy. So all of your minions and pets will be able to do 15% extra damage to whatever gets hit by this piranha. Then you have Big Bad Voodoo Slam Dance. If you're playing with another Witch Doctor, you might want to switch that to another rune. The Slam, I believe, still does not stack, which is a little unfortunate, but that would be incredible if it did. Then Zombie Dogs, I'm using Burning Dogs, but you can use a physical rune. Like higher difficulties, you might want to use Lifelink. That might be okay. But Burning Dogs for now is a lot of damage, so I then use Spirit Walk with Jaunt just to move a little bit faster, get out of some sticky situations. It is a CC break, so if you ever get feared, stunned, jailed, frozen, you can pop your Jaunt and run out of there. Make sure to get away from all those laser beams and all that nasty stuff. Gargantuan Wrathful Protector. This is a cooldown, and mainly it's a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage like a cooldown should, and yeah, just a generally good attack to use. That's pretty much what it is. As far as passives go, obviously Fetish Sycophants, because, well, you need it to spawn your fetishes. Spirit Vessel. This obviously because on hardcore, since, you know, if you die, you die. You definitely want a second chance, and it also reduces the cooldown of your Spirit Walk by 2 seconds, which is always very, very nice. Grave Injustice, because this is arguably the best passive in the game. You gain 1% of your max life and mana and reduce the cooldown of all your skills by 1 second when an enemy dies within 20 yards. And then that range is extended by art items that increase your gold and pickup radius. Um, and then I use Midnight Feast on Torment 3 and up because it gives me an additional zombie dog, which increases the damage, and then it also increases the damage of the zombie dogs and Gargantuan by 50%. So if I were doing like Torment 1 speed farming, I would use Fierce Loyalty, because the Fierce Loyalty gives me the movement speed bonus, so I can get around a little faster. But for the higher difficulties, I definitely run with Midnight Feast. Also, if you're running a lower Torment, Torment 1 or 2, you can use a Thing of the Deep if you don't need the damage mitigation from the Eucapian Serpent. The thing I like about Thing of the Deep is it increases the Graven Justice range by 20 yards, but it also is really good for gold farming. You pick up a lot of gold using this offhand. So yeah, that's the hardcore pet build. So let's go take it for a run. Go kill some stuff in the Weeping Hollow. So we're gonna Pyronado. We're gonna drop Plague Toad, Rainatoads, run around a little bit, and let all my fetishes go to work. You can do this without Mr. Yan's Hexing Pants. It'll be pretty slow though on anything higher than Torment 3. The Hexing Pants are very, very strong. Likewise, you don't necessarily need the Hexing Pants. You can like use just some very high EHP pants and then use a Harrington Waistguard, for instance. But this is kind of the itemization I enjoy using. It's a little bit closer to what I use on softcore, though I don't use the Blackthorns on softcore. And so yeah. Oh, here's an elite. We'll do this, and so Wrath Protector, BBV, then just run around in a circle, and everything's over. So yeah. So that's the hardcore pet doctor. I hope this helps. And hopefully I'll be able to make some guys that are a little bit lesser itemized, a little bit more basic, more rare items, and we'll definitely get some people doing Torment 1 with not too many gear. Awesome. Thanks guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.